And some familiar faces as well. It's Dillon Mitchell up front and center for the tip and into the hands of Tyrese Hunter. So the starting five: Asmus, Hunter, Horton, Mitchell, and of course Brock Cunningham. Bruce, I've lost track on how long Cunningham has been here wearing the burnt orange.
You know, but the beauty part is that each and every year he's bringing something different to the game. And why wouldn't you? I love being here, and I didn't go to school here, but I really wish I had about 10 years of eligibility for this.
So cool for St. Ed's. This is Rodney Terry's alma mater, just down the road in South Congress. That is Jeff Carey letting it fly for three. Dillon Mitchell wants to run in traffic. Oh, in the block. That's how you top the hill. Carey with the rejection.
You know, it'll be important in this environment for St. Ed's to really make sure they try to settle down. They can be sped up, you know, dealing with this athletic team. And let's talk about Mitchell a little bit. He's a little under the weather, but this is what I love what Rodney is doing. He's challenging him that if you're sick, you still have to show up.
Well, still so much for him to prove that he's ready to play in the NBA next season. Tested the waters, but did not get the feedback that he wanted to, so he is back for his second season. 8 on the shot clock for the Hilltoppers. Here's Blake Nielsen, the Australian standout off the glass. Hey, listen to the reaction.
You know, it's always good when you're on the road and you get able to score a bucket, especially against a team quite like Texas.
Oh, Tyrese Hunter, excellent move. You like that one, Bruce?
And that's the flip side, where they're not accustomed to seeing that type of athleticism. That Euro step was reminiscent of someone I used to play with.
Oh, a guy that used to wear 20?
Yeah, there it is.
Tyrese Hunter is going to be the guy that drives the ship for the Longhorns this season. Him and Asmus wearing number 3 and white. That is the backcourt for the Longhorns.
And see, that situation there, Max was just a little bit late on going after that ball. And I think that has more to do with a little bit of feeling under the weather. His timing is off right now. But I tell you, this is how you learn to become a certain type of player, that you have to deal with the different things that happen in the midst of a game.
And that was Nielsen's second bucket and another block shot. That's 2 of them here for the Hilltoppers. That from Sean Elkington, the conference freshman of the year.
You look at the group and you say they're not a very big group. And so I believe there's moments where we have the Texas going to the basket and not experiencing that.
Asmus, that's what he does. Knocks down shots. He was a 4-year standout for Oral Roberts. He finds so many different ways to get buckets.
If you ever watch him shoot the basketball, it's so effortless.
Back inside, rejected by Mitchell. This is I.T. Horton bringing it up. Asmus, deep, but too much. A little heat check early on as Connor McManus is called for the foul.
And some people may say, why would he take that shot? Well, he's a shooter, he's a scorer. He can score in a variety of ways, and it's effortless. Did you see? He didn't jump way in there to shoot that ball. It was so effortless, and that's the beauty of basketball. Certain guys are blessed with different skills.
And Rodney Terry says that's a shot that he can make. It's Steph Curry range. Cunningham continues to improve on his outside shot. Does not connect there. But when it comes to an exhibition game, it doesn't count, obviously. What are these two teams trying to get out of this?
Well, one thing is the mental preparation for Texas. They have to still come out and play as if they're playing against Kansas or someone in their conference. And on the other side, St. Edwards they're not going to play a team like this ever again. So you want to make a big showing more than anything else.
Cunningham with a harassing defense. Shot is off by Nielsen, and Asmith with the rebound. Sometimes is it tough to get mentally engaged if you're Texas playing a team on the lower level, D2?
It is tough, but what you see right now with St. Edwards, they're here to compete and won.
Tyrese Hunter is ready to compete, Bruce Bowen.
Yes, he is, and I love that drive there. Not so much of trying to do too much, but direct line drives is what they work on in practice each and every day.
Tyrese Hunter started every game with the Longhorns, and he started every game in his 2-year career at Iowa State. and here at the University of Texas, but battled through a lot. You can see he's a little bit in pain after that finish, but a guy that had to figure out his body last season, how to battle through cramps. And Bruce, once he did, he was a different player, electric in the second half.
And isn't that what college is for?
Yeah.
To learn how to get through these different obstacles that come with the game of basketball.
And of course, it starts on the defensive side for Hunter, and when he is healthy, he can be that lockdown guy for this Texas defense.
See, with Max right now, all I want for Max is to get his arms out. He creates more havoc with his hands up, just as we see a hand on the ball there.
And that is Zarek Onyema, the transfer from UTEP. And RT expects him to be a guy that can replace some of the production from Christian Bishop, but will be more of a dunker inside.
He has a great opportunity right now. I was at practice last week and hearing Coach talk about what he has an opportunity for here right now is really special.
Turning the corner is Gavino Ramos, and it's going to stay with St. Ed's. Good start here. St. Ed's with a couple of buckets early on, and a lot of Hilltoppers have made that Texas team as well that went on to win the 1939 Southwest Conference Championship. Texas leads the all-time series 15-3. St. Ed's, one of the top D2 programs nationally, picked to finish third this season in the Lone Star Conference. It's a 6-4 game. Lower Glendo here with Bruce Bowen. And the drive and dish, very nice to set up Sean Elkington.
You know, I think this is a situation where St. Edwards, they're just appreciative of having this opportunity to play here at University of Texas. And you see it in the way they're playing. They're executing. And this is where the details become more important. D2 schools usually execute a little better because they don't have the athletes that the D1 programs have.
Weaver with the drive, high off the glass from the UTA transfer. Kendall Weaver, nitty-gritty player. He's going to bring a lot of toughness, was the WAC Freshman of the Year last season. So Texas also, so many new names. They've had practices together, but this is the first time they're really going out live. They had that secret scrimmage where they came up short against Colorado. But they need all these moments, and there is the flush. We mentioned the dunk ability by Onyema on display.
So Onyema, that's a drill they do at practice where bigs, you want them to sprint the floor in transition because no one's back there to help out.
Turnover into the hands of Weaver. Weaver pushes to Hunter. Hunter trying to make a move, and there's Elkington.
Oh, I wish he would have dropped that off to Max. He had a dunk written all over it.
Shaking off the cobwebs. This is a Texas team that lost their top 3 scorers from last season. Marcus Carr, Serge Jabari Rice, Timmy Allen, and that is McManus hitting the 3, and St. Ed's taking the lead back 9-8.
You know, you got to give St. Ed's credit. As I said earlier, they're a little bit more in tune to what they run, and some of them have spent more time with each other as compared to what happens in the transfer portal.
And they bring their leaders back like Nielsen and Elkington. A lot more new faces here like Ace-Miss. Nice touch.
That stop on the dime, like everybody figured he'd get to the cup, but he's a scorer. He knows how to put the basketball in the basket.
Love a guy like that, Bruce, because just on the hoof, really doesn't look like a lot. Probably why he ended up in a place like Oral Roberts to start the career, but then he shows he can be a difference maker. 3 no good by McManus. Onyema with the rebound. And there he is again. Ace-Miss, too strong.
You know, too strong, but his misses from 3 back of the rim. You love that as a coach. At least he's not left or right where you start second-guessing what's going on. All he needs is a little more arc, and it's going to be all right.
Texas 0 for 6 outside. Meanwhile, the Hilltoppers also missed a 3-point attempt with Ramos.
You know, we talk about rim runs in the Bain basketball. Bigs, get down the floor and make a little highlight for yourself.
You gotta love the authority, too.
Well, no, he's strong. San Antonio, yes, sir.
That's how we do it down at San Antonio. Come on now.
Oh, man.
Not ready to make any comparisons to a Spur wearing number 21, though, are you?
No.
Okay.
No.
That would be sacrilegious.
That would be different.
And now we have the freshman Chris Johnson wearing 0 checking in out of Missouri City, Texas. Played his prep ball at Montverde down in Florida. And this is the glue guy, Brock Cunningham. Does a great job at keeping the basketball moving.
Well, Brock understands the game, and I love his ability to communicate with guys.
Shot clock, and that's just a freshman mistake. Johnson did not realize it.
Well, I don't think you want to, that's not the freshman mistake. Freshman just got in the game. You know, that's a situation where they were trying to run their set and got a little too deep in the set. So Max has to understand he got to break the set at that point and get the ball up in the air.
So definitely has the look of a team trying to figure some things out, as it should.
Big time. And that's what people don't realize, that you bring these guys together, they've been in different systems, different terminologies on the floor. And so it gets to a point where you can't expect them to really start to gel until, oh my, he fouled him with his stomach?
Yeah, I guess so. Onyeama's called for the foul. Number one on him, but hey, Bruce, we're going to focus on the positive and what he did when he ran the court and finished from Tyrese.
Well, Tyrese sees the ball, the court so well, and he just want to give a little highlight there.
Why not? Still counts in our book. 2019 was the D2 National Coach of the Year. He's loving the opportunity here to show out and get some of these Texas fans to realize, hey, maybe when the Longhorns are out of town, come down the road, South Congress, and see us play.
Yeah, it's really good to see the little fan support here, though.
Yeah, and they are loud. That's Jaden Johnston with the drive, and he is fouled. And that's going to be number 2, back-to-back on Onyeama.
So in these moments, this is where coaches are constantly saying, just jump with your hands straight up, because you have room to do that. But once you bring your hands down, officials are taught all over the world, and if he comes down with his hands, it's a foul.
You're blowing the whistle at that point,
even if it's not a foul.
And there is Johnston connecting on the free throw. Very connected St. Edward's team. It was great talking with Coach Cook before the start of this game. You can really tell that they're going to make the most out of this exhibition matchup. And it's just interesting to see the juxtaposition between the two teams, right? Rodney Terry's staff, I mean, it's like he's got 10 assistant coaches, it seems like, with special assistants. There's one assistant coach for St. Ed's, and then a bunch of student assistants as well.
That's the discrepancy in
yeah, it's going high level D1
pool there.
Yeah,
but
well, here's a concern, as this is the freshman Chris Johnson limping to the bench, and injuries are a little bit of an issue for Texas to open up the season. Dylan Dessou, we all remember the foot injury that he had late in the tournament. Surgery in the offseason as Dylan Mitchell has been cleared for takeoff.
That's the difference of what a St. Edward's cannot match up with. A kid is broken down at the top of the key, and they go to rotate, and they get a dunk. But this is the side, as we say, you want to get downhill. You look at all those guys in the paint. Nope, nobody was going to contest that. I mean, Max gets up with ease.
And springy. Every year now, Texas really has one of those guys. It's just an over-the-top, elite, above-the-rim athlete.
But it seems like we always kept him here. It's amazing to me. You get one guy in California, but in the state of Texas, oh my goodness, it's what goes on.
And the challenge now is, as Johnson limps off, the talent in the state is getting so much better. The programs from outside the state now coming in to trying to poach the talent, that much more difficult to keep guys home.
Well, you know, I love this university. I've had ties with so many different individuals that are a part of the university, but this just seems like such a great place to go to school and experience all the things it has to offer, not just in basketball, football, baseball, everything.
Got it all, and it's cooking right now. That's I.T. Horton, the transfer from Central Florida. He is an elite outside shooter, but showing some off-the-dribble ability. A-Smith with the switch here on Ramos, and that's off the back of Cunningham. Mitchell wants to run. What does he have in store now? He's going to draw the foul on Bennett Moan.
And see, what I like to see from Max in that situation is slow down before you commit that you want to get to that left hand so quick. Slow down, change of pace. And this is something that's really difficult with a lot of young players unless you handle the ball a lot. Changing the pace is good for you.
And that is the challenge for Dillon Mitchell this season. He obviously wants to run, right? What player doesn't want to run? They want him to focus more on defensive rebounding. And once he does bring down a rebound, then he can initiate the offense as long as he's in control. That's the key.
That's huge, and that's slowing down. And as crazy as it sounds, that's the key in basketball. You got to slow down.
Skip pass, Horton, step back, three, rattles out.
Now see, Horton should have taken the first shot. Once he got the pass, that extra dribble took him out of rhythm, but you got to be ready to shoot before the ball gets to you.
You know a little something about shooting in that spot.
Yeah, it's grainy video.
Oh, come on. Then that makes me seem even older. Can't do that. And there it is, the Austin High product. Aleyu, UTSA transfer after starting and starring for the Austin High Maroons here in town. Oh, Mitchell got his defender up in the air, takes a couple of dribbles, no good. And of course, Brock Cunningham is involved in a little fracas below the bucket.
You know, you talk about certain things, the proximity of the universities. Obviously, both of them here in Austin. It's kind of reminiscent of, say, Chapel Hill and Duke.
Oh, yeah.
You know, guys, and that's what Coach talked about earlier, is how guys, they come over and go and play with one another. This is nothing new for them. Now we just have officials on the floor.
A lot of Westlake activity in this game. McManus and Nielsen both played at Westlake, where Brock Cunningham was a star. There's a lot of open gym time between these guys. They play each other a lot. Here's Cunningham, a handoff to Tyrese Hunter, and lost the handle, but Cunningham is there to clean it up. You need a guy like Brock Cunningham, and he's embraced that role.
Brock is so talkative, and you need guys talking on the floor at all times. That's the beauty part about this game with Brock, is he understands that, okay, how can I impact the game and my teammates? It's through communication.
Ramos for three. Got it. St. Ed's taking the lead 17-16. Ramos played at Antonian College Prep in San Antonio, where Jonathan Holmes was a prep star before coming to the University of Texas. And if you look at the Texas bench, you'll notice that Jonathan Holmes is back as a grad assistant coach. And there's the baseline drive by Ramos, who's having a strong start to this game, and draws the foul. So season number 6 for the Brock Star, and this is what he does.
Talk about just filling in the gaps. He gets a situation where it's an easy opportunity, but on the flip side, it's got to be the communication for Texas. St. Edwards is getting a lot of wide open shots through their movement, their body movement, ball movement. They're setting good screens. This has always been the difference, I think, when it comes to lesser, as far as athletic gifted teams.
Yeah.
They have to run their stuff at a premium. That's the only way they can compete.
And Coach Cook even told us that they were going to try some things that they haven't done in the past. Never in his history as a coach, 20-plus years, has he pressed defensively. And that's going to be part of the identity of this team this year. And they're going to try it tonight against the Longhorns.
Well, you know, you press in situations to kind of get your guys engaged as well. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're pressing to necessarily score all the time. But sometimes you come out flat, and you need something to get going.
Texas trying to get something going. Turnaround. Cunningham had a fadeaway jumper to his game. Taking a look at it, Jordan, except for the miss. And Cunningham comes charging back. And that's going to be a held ball as Ramos put it up.
We have seen a lack of back. Oh.
The lob inside to Aleyu. Give him 2.
I was just about to say rim protection.
And that's where
we've seen St.
Edwards
Edwards get a lot of baskets.
A-Smith got it from outside. And that is the first three-pointer for the Longhorns tonight. They were 0 for 7 before that. One-point game. The response, Elkington, pure.
I tell you, it's a fun game, obviously, when you're making shots, but my goodness, St. Edwards is not intimidated at all.
Aleyu with the steal, the little Euro step in the finish. St. Ed's don't care. And they are showing up, playing loud. Their fans are loud. The response three is no good, but Cunningham, Breckstar with the cleanup.
And what I'd like to see, especially, I mean, Texas can get any shot they want. Let's get St. Edward's moving a little bit defensively before they take their next shot.
Andre Cook calls the timeout. Asmith was 7 for the Longhorns. Aleyu off the bench was 6 for St. Ed's. Bruce, you just noticed something with that Enamekwe three-pointer that will be a coaching point for Rodney Terry.
No, absolutely. That last three by Alex, the fact that he just got in the game and he launches a three, no, it's not to say that you can't make that shot, but we may not want you shooting that shot right now. Let's get something good and allow our three-point shooters to shoot those shots. Because sometimes players take this as practice, like, oh, I shoot it in practice. Well, right now, we're down. We can't have those types of errors.
And just a word of caution to everybody watching right now, as that was a nifty-looking shot from Elkington, but cannot connect. It's early. You're playing exhibition for a reason, to get some of these kinks out of this system before it starts counting in that season opener against Incarnate Word.
And as you see Rodney Terry up off the bench right now saying, hey, come on, man, let's get some type of motion. He gets it. St. Edward's can't guard us, but if we go one-on-one all over the place, they'll be able to do whatever they like.
That ball deflected out of bounds.
I love when you see some of your teammates kind of try to rally guys, because coaches can't do it all. They say as much as they can, but they can't do everything.
Well, let's think, too, about who Texas is missing in a situation like that. Is Aleyu. Look at that smile. Says it all. The Austin kid rocking it here for 3. But you're missing leaders. You're missing a Marcus Carr. That one is thrown away by Cunningham.
That extra pass there, you know, it's one of those deals where we look at here on the offensive side, look at all the space they have for their shots, and we see it's the opposite happening right now.
Yeah.
We're being sped up by St. Edward's because guys are trying to go after the game instead of letting the game come to them.
Those leaders, Timmy Allen, Jabari Rice, those would be the settling figures right now, whether by their play or their words. Tyree Sutter, not always the most vocal guy, but he's been challenged to be more of that. We're going behind the back here with Nielsen, and Weaver is able to get the rebound and draws the foul. And that is Nielsen picking up foul number 1. Kendall Weaver, Black Freshman of the Year out of UT Arlington, just under double-digit points per game and under 5 rebounds per game. Kennedy Carter, number 4 pick in the 2020 WNBA draft. Carter could light it up. And it seems like Kendall has that upside as well. Here's Cunningham, straight on 3. Mitchell fighting for the rebound. It's in the hands of Nielsen.
And Lowell, I don't know if you feel this right now, but it seems like St. Edward's, they take wide open threes, but they're getting downhill more than anything else as well.
Ramos for 3. Regardless of the look, here's the simple point. St. Ed's, they are hitting those threes, and Texas is not, and now it's a 10-point lead for the Hilltoppers.
Now this is where it's important. It's not about leaving one another. Texas got to still do it together. You're getting one shot, and it's going back the other way. St. Edward's is securing the rebound, not allowing Texas to get multiple shots at the basket. But again, after halftime, you're going to see more body movement and ball movement for Texas, because right now it's not working. Guys going one-on-one.
Nielsen, those are 2 Westlake products going at it. Nielsen and Cunningham, 8 on the shot clock. Garrett with the drive, step back, rolls out into the hands of Dylan Mitchell. Texas looking for some flow on offense. Hunter with the bucket. That's what you need.
And that's what we've seen in transition. They've been able to get to the basket in transition. You got to keep that pressure on the defense. This is the best time to make those attacking moves because no one has a specific man. It's transition. You go ahead and figure out what's going on.
One thing that my buddy Lance Blanks always used to talk about is, are you running offense or are you trying to score? Because at the end of the day, all that matters is finding a way to put it in the bucket.
And I'm going to let you in on something. St. Ed's don't want to play defense too long. They welcome these long shots because they understand that this is the only way they're going to be able to compete with Texas.
Competing right now, they're leading 31-24 with 4 minutes until half. Nielsen, a nifty turnaround off the glass. I think his pops taught him that move. His dad, former head coach of the Austin Spurs, now an assistant in San Antonio with the big team. Nice move by Nielsen. Cunningham for three, got it.
I mean, I like it because I see what Cunningham has worked on all summer, and he's showing confidence, and they're going to have to have
nice feed and the finish. Sorry to cut you off, but that was Nielsen to Elkington. Beauty.
Yeah, it was. But again, ball movement, body movement.
Hunter, little cradle, you're going to call for a travel. What do you think, Bruce?
I don't know. I think we let that one keep going a little.
Flat out knocking him down. 8 of 16 on 2-point shots. The difference, though, that 5 and 11 mark from 3-point range compared to Texas 2 for 11 from 3. Also 9 assists on 13 made. So great job sharing here by the Hilltoppers.
I like the pressure now. I like the pressure. And so you got to just make them feel a little uncomfortable. Utilize your athleticism and make them take those kind of shots. Look at that.
And that's a travel on Jeff Gary.
And all that was solid defense. It was no gambling. It was no skipping steps. Obviously, it's a long time to the end of this game, but at the same time, it's just sticking to what you guys continue to work on. That's what's necessary.
That was A. Smith getting into it. Weaver for 3. Wants that one back. Wants that one back. Hey, but the great thing is, ultimately, it doesn't count. Exhibition, baby.
But see, this is where you also, coaches are constantly evaluating, even in games like this. That's his strength, getting to the paint.
Hunter passes off the 3 for the 2. What do you think about the spacing right now from Texas?
Well, I don't think it's really relevant right now because what you're getting is a lot of one-on-one play. And obviously you have athletes that can do that, but the biggest thing that's important for Texas right now is to be able to play together. And again, it takes time for guys to get together on the same page. Yeah. I remember, obviously it was a long time ago, but when we got new guys that came in with the Spurs, it always took them a while before they could really understand our terminology, our spacing on offense, as well as defense.
Well, just remember 2 years ago, Chris Beard's first season, when they brought in all the transfers. It took a little while for that team as Onyema gets it and finishes it.
And that's how you get it going. You got to turn up the defense. It can't be 1 possession, 2 possession. It has to be all out. And this is something a lot of times players try to save themselves. No, coach will get you out.
Ooh, the feathery touch.
I tell you, I'm impressed with St. Edwards right now because they are making the most of this wonderful opportunity that they have.
First team Lone Star Conference pick, Sean Elkington. First player that Andre Cook has had. It's been the Conference Freshman of the Year. Here's Kendall Weaver. Working back inside to Onyema. He has been impressive in the early goings. That's going to be a clear foul. They're going to say don't count the basket, though. So that's on Elkington.
You know, you talk about the impact that he's had on the floor. It's right in, it's the defensive side. We talked about him rim running earlier. He understands, hey, let me get out here and really exercise my authority during the course of this ball game.
It seems like he understands who he is.
Well, he has a great opportunity right now with the 2 guys being injured. And this is what Coach Terry spoke to me about last week. He said, Bruce, this young man has a great opportunity. But at the same time, you got to understand, I got 2 guys that are going to get minutes coming back. this is so huge for him right now to really establish a comfort and confidence from the coaches to have him on the floor.
He was a 56% free throw shooter last season at UTEP. He misses that one. And that is just too easy for the Hilltoppers. Another one for Elkington. He continues to rack him up, give him 12 points now. 11 for Elkington. What's your take there, Bruce?
It's over and over. I'm repeating the same thing. 7 to 10 in layups for St. Edwards.
That's a travel on Mitchell.
And then you come back, and that's what happens. So on this, it's the big man who has to show. He's standing still. He's in no man's land without his hands up. If I guard someone with my hands in my pockets, they're going to tear me up.
Hand down.
Man down. Well, I mean, that's
in the pocket's even worse.
Oh, boy.
You're not even engaged at that point.
No, you're not. Hand action, hand action.
Again, that's the challenge, right? So Dylan Mitchell heard so much of that from the Texas staff. Got to play defense, got to rebound. And it was eye-opening for him as he gets the block there. Shot clock winding down. Going back inside to Elkington. Cunningham with a tough defense, and he stepped out of bounds. That's all Brock Cunningham. But back to the point about Dylan Mitchell. He heard the same things from the NBA that Rodney Terry had been telling him all along.
Look here, especially when it comes to the youth. Like, you got to, with his size, there's no way. And this was a pass. That wasn't a shot, but the way that he has the freedom of moving all over the place, your length and athleticism, he should be smothering him on defense right now.
The coaches feel like he's got the ability to guard 1 through 5. Just got to do it. A lot of that is effort. Final 10 seconds of the half. St. Ed's will go into the half with the lead. Hunter trying to chip into it, and he does. Tyrese Hunter for 3. 2 on the clock. Nielsen, the heave. Oh, that would have capped a storybook for Sean Elkington. Big number 33, although that man, Gavino Ramos, has been outstanding from three-point range as well. St. Ed's 5 for 11 from outside. Texas must slow them down there. Big second half coming up. Here's A. Smith to start off. The transfer from Oral Roberts does not get it. That's going to be a foul after Mitchell gets a rebound.
Yep, I like the activity thus far. You got to go out and get those baskets. Now, what people might look at and say, well, I mean, here it is, Max took another 3. No, that's what he does.
Absolutely.
And it's about getting the three-point shooters of Texas the ball to have those opportunities to shoot those shots.
A. Smith is a guy that's done it every year. He's a 20-plus point a game scorer, active leading scorer for his career in D1, as that is a travel on Tyrese Hunter. So you're exactly right. The shots are going to be there for A. Smith. He is going to be one of the key guys for this Texas team.
And it's just getting everybody else into their roles right now, and it's hard. This is the second game that they played other than, I mean, against Colorado, what no one saw. But one thing that Coach talked about is that having that lead with 8 minutes to go. And you get a turnover. See, now this is where everyone, this is what I love about college. You know, you can get guys up off the bench, get them going. You know what? You do it enough, you get your name in the paper as well.
Yes.
Back when Sean Elliott was, I mean, long time ago. They don't even have film then.
Again, it's not that long.
You know. But you saw the Gumbies.
Coming our way. Oh, Connor McManus, you okay, my man?
Look at that. Look at all the St. Edwards guys. I'm about ready to give them a high five for their extra effort to get over there and help their guy out. I can't stand it when your guy goes down and guys don't come
just
over
look.
They just kind of like, all right, get up, man.
Look.
Come on, who you got? What number you got? No, man, help me up.
Everybody coming over. But your point about Sean Elliott.
The Gumbies. You remember when they made that run, you had Sean Brooks, Tom Tolbert. Steve Kerr was part of that. All them old guys.
Hunter looking for the and one. He will go to the line, however.
But see, it's again, which way was Hunter going? He was going downhill, getting to the cup. He's been the biggest threat right now because he understands exactly where his opportunities come when it comes off of the dribble drive and a swing. It's not him coming down and trying to do it on his own, except in transition. That's what you want from a guard.
That was foul number 3 on Blake Nielsen, the guy that runs the show at point for St. Ed's. Season opener is Monday, 7 p.m. Central Time. It's Texas and Incarnate Word. We'll keep it local with that San Antonio connection. Got to be ready for that, though. Then everything counts. Yes. Everything counts, Bruce. So that cuts it to a 5-point game. Little trouble here for Gary. Ramos, kick out, 3-point shot, no. Into the hands of Dylan Mitchell.
Great defensive style now, get the ball up the floor. Too much dribbling.
And Mitchell lost it, so he got the rebound. He brought it up the floor, but committed the sin of turning it over afterwards.
You know, it's funny. As a coach, you hear him say, hey, young fellas, y'all dribble too much. You know, Max brought it up. Okay, bring it up, get it to a guard, and get into the secondary offense. You know, don't dribble down trying to make something happen. And this is what happens in the midst of the first game of the season. You don't know what's going on, and you have these types of errors.
And you mentioned when you are a coach, you are a coach now.
Yes. But I've been fortunate to be able to be a part of TMI's community, and they've done nothing but welcome me in, allow me to do the stuff that I do, and I enjoy it. It's giving back to the game that allowed me to have such a great, meaningful life.
Here comes that press from Andre Cooks, St. Ed's Hilltoppers. A new look, new wrinkle for them. 6-point game. Cunningham going to give it to Asmus, the new guy on the block. Contested shot. Cunningham, offensive rebound.
Now this is where you get right back into your offense. Nice. No.
Under the lob, even nicer. Dylan Mitchell, watch your head, young man.
See it, and again, that's not hard because it's just a basic play of what they do. Let's get the ball out and move it. Let's go.
Horton the rebound. Bruce is calling for tempo, calling for pace. Horns are running. Hunter, nice move inside and draws the foul.
Great patience once you get the offensive rebound. As we saw, Brock gets the rebound, we get back into a set. Back to the set, and look what happens. A little dribble drive, and boom. That's, you know, this is what drives coaches crazy as well. We'll watch film and say, how come we can't do that every time? Well, this is the beauty of being young. You don't think of it quite like that. So you have to be taught, and you're taught in these moments.
I get it, too, with a player like Dylan Mitchell. You're trying to get to the NBA. You see what's prevalent in the NBA today, and sometimes you're trying to do probably too much too soon when a play like that's your bread and butter.
That's your bread and butter, but more importantly, listening to what the coaches want from you.
Yeah.
And it's not about what you see, because you never know what the system is somewhere else. You master your role here, everything takes care of itself. It's historical within Texas history of basketball. You do what you're supposed to, good things happen.
2-point game, St. Ed's on top. Ramos trying to make it a 5-point game, no.
Let's go.
Cunningham with the rebound. He's been active once again. Last year's leading offensive rebounder. Also a force on the defensive glass like we saw there. I.T. Horton. This is a guy with a great outside shot. He kicks it. And then it's thrown away. I have not seen that one in a while.
Well, again, too much dribbling right there. You have, you know, Mitchell, you got Horton. Everybody's trying to make something happen right now. So it's not selfish on behalf of the young players. It's just they're trying to do too much. And sometimes it's hard to say, hey, young fella, just 2 dribbles, kick it.
Yeah. And also, you start thinking next level. Let's be real, much more difficult to take a 5-star recruit in college and put them on the bench too much. If you don't do what you're supposed to do in the NBA, what do they do to you?
You're going to be right on that bench. And what ends up becoming the situation is you become a project. So we're trying to see if he can buy into this role. Whereas in college, I know this is blasphemous here, but I believe that if a kid stays in college 2 to 3 years, he'll learn to develop and become a better player. The one and dones, they're still unheard of because they don't know exactly how they handle adversity, or can they be the man?
Wraparound pass, the block by Kendall Weaver. A-Smith. The feed to Cunningham, and he's bumped right there by Sean Elkington.
Now, you see how the activity of a block leads to great opportunities right here. Not giving up on the play. Not giving up on the play. You can't give up on the play in these games. You gotta want it just as much as anyone else. And now you're starting to see a little foldage with St. Ed's. Now you want to call, but in the first half, when those threes were going down, there was no problem.
And that's his game right there. That's a beautiful touch in rhythm off the inbound. And we are tied up at 40. Gary wants a screen, goes around it. And that's going to be a foul on Texas.
Now, the next thing I'll say here now, if there's a pick and roll going on, it has to be better communication. If a kid drives baseline, just as that happened, where's the rotation guy? See, I know Rodney wants to run a lot of the defense similar to what the NBA does. And you have to be on the weak side. More than 2 passes away, you shouldn't be hugged up on your guy. You got to be ready to move when your man moves, because we're all on the stream.
How long does that feel, that talk, as Cunningham rips it away to A-Smith? In transition, good. Texas with the lead.
You asked a very good question, and how long does that take? We did defensive shell drill in San Antonio 9 years. 9 years we were still working as they turn the ball over.
Cunningham, of course, he's been the spark plug. What's new? On turn to the paint, lefty finish. Textbook, picture perfect for Tyrese Hunter. Hey, they've got that juice flowing now.
The juice is flowing, and not quick shots are happening. You got the ball in the hands.
Points per game, he certainly was a force. 15-1 run for the Longhorns as Dessou watches on, trying to get his surgically repaired foot back to 100% before he starts his season. Noah Galindo here with Bruce Bowen. Exhibition match from Moody. St. Ed's needs a bucket to stop some of this momentum.
Yep, and I like the extension of the defense. You know, their hands are up, guys are active. Whereas in the first half, everyone was waiting for someone else to do something.
The lob. No, Horton with the rebound. Horton pushes to A-Smith. Onyema wanted it.
I like the patience there. No need to rush anything. And this is what happens when you start to realize whose hands should the ball be in.
Yeah. Probably number 4, number 3. Here's Onyema inside. Such a physical presence. And I'll blow the whistle on Sean Elkington here. As Onyema wanted that little spin for the dunk.
Right now.
He should be in the rotation regardless, even with those big two and Shedrick and Dessou come back. Rodney Terry obviously knows him well as he recruited him to UTEP before coming here to the University of Texas. It's a 4-point lead for the Longhorns. You see second half rebounds, a 7-0 edge.
That's where it's
oh yeah, that.
So again, those are the things that is going to help him get on the floor. The little things, the dirty work, putbacks, full court run sprints.
He looks apart though, and that is almost an amazing finish by Ramos, but Onyema is there. Defensive rebound, wants to run.
Steal him.
Oh, and nearly coming up to steal. Jake Johnson gets it back. Johnson, Cunningham got him.
No. I don't know about a double foul. I mean,
so they call the intentional here.
Intentional. He went up for the ball. He went up for the ball. Did he grab his wrist?
It didn't look that way to me. It looked like a common foul. Let's see on the replay.
See, he slowed up here.
I mean, Brock Cunningham's always going to go hard to the basketball. Always.
No, I get that. But that's you gotta take into account from a standpoint of, I know officials don't get everyone blames them for different things. But this kid slowed up because he wanted to do a dunk. He slowed up, which allowed the defense to recover. You got to use that as well. And this is sometimes where officials, they need to be able to converse in certain situations in
Absolutely.
this. And ask your partner, hey, did you have a double foul on that as I did?
So that's 2 shots, both made by St. Ed's and the ball. So an opportunity now to tie this game or take the lead.
Yeah, but what I like more than anything else about that play is that they didn't allow them to have that layup.
Ramos.
And they're still struggling.
No good. Onyema with the rebound.
See,
I feel you don't make anything too easy, right?
Right. Sometimes it's the psychological aspect of they haven't seen it much better.
Quicker with the move, but no finish.
Now,
but that's something you can build off that,
you
right?
can build off, but you got to finish. Now, I'm just saying, with his side, that was a guard near him. That's like a gnat near me when I'm eating a sandwich. You might get ate up with that gnat. So I with that sandwich. But see that there? He has to finish that one. But I like the quickness of the move. You didn't allow anybody to come back to you.
A. Smith, talk about quick off the inbound, quick trigger, hits the 3 ball. It's up to 14 points.
See, Max needs to get out a little more and show your hands a little bit more.
Look
at here.
No.
So it's just what the game is. It's harder to make shots when you have athletic guys getting a hand up in your face.
Absolutely.
Now, I talked about this variety of ways of him scoring. Look at that. He's coming off for a catch and shoot NBA 3. Talent.
Big time. Love how guys take advantage, especially this NIL era of going through the transfer portal. Right, like everybody uses it in a different way, but for A. Smith, truly an opportunity as Horton rims out, just to take his game to a bigger, grander stage and get even more eyes. He did everything he could do for Oral Roberts. Now it's time for a new chapter.
Right, no, it's part of what the game is now, but you got to understand, he was a proven player in what he did.
Nice finish by Nelson.
That's the biggest. You got guys entering the portal right now that average 7 points, and they're mad that the coach yelled at them for taking up another 3.
You're right.
Oh my goodness.
Unforced there.
That's the killer. So let's go back one possession. We get Horton with a step back 3 without any ball movement, body movement. They've been getting so many great looks in the second half because of the ball movement and body movement. No one's coming down going one-on-one.
Three-point game. I.T. Horton. Hello.
Yes, you have made up for that other play. But that's the best way.
Someone's listening,
that's
Bruce.
Activity. Stay down.
Mitchell.
That's good.
Oh, the finish by Leu.
But that's good defense. Better offense that time. I wish he'd stay down on the ground. It's just, he doesn't realize what he has just yet, but as he continues on this season, he's definitely going to see it.
Oh my goodness, that was going to bring down the backboard and everything below it. But that was too high for Dylan Mitchell. Look at this. I mean, the guy's got ups. Let's not get carried away. Timing a little off there. Aleu, by the way, Austin product, up to 11 points off the bench for the Hilltoppers. That's him right there, wearing 0. Hand off to Ramos. Horton hitting the deck and getting the hand from Andre Cook, Hilltoppers head coach. But things definitely taking us.
I'm not talking about just now because he's the coach, but even prior to now, the relationships that he's developed here, that's what it's all about.
9 years with Rick Barnes as one of his top assistants as Aleu cannot connect from 3. Okay, Chris Beard brought him in as his top lieutenant. He got the opportunity and ran with it. He was the no-brainer decision to make him full-time head coach for this program. He has certainly earned it. And now he gets to take all of his prowess as an elite recruiter and use those guys to his advantage for his record as a head coach.
Yeah.
Because before it stops at UTEP and Fresno, you're not getting the same type of players that he attracted to the University of Texas when he was an assistant. He can win with those guys now, like a Dylan Mitchell.
Yeah, and you know what also stated is that Rodney can tell you about the players he's had an impact with. LaMarcus Aldridge, you know, all these other great University of Texas alum. He's been around them, and guys want to hear that. Now, mind you, my coaches didn't have too much to say except it was Cedric Sabalas. But look here, they're still scoreless right now, and they're not giving up anything easy as I jump different conversations. But
no, I love it. Anytime you can bring up Sabalas, it's always a good conversation.
Look at that.
Onyema let it slip through. Hey, but you're seeing the flashes, and these are all things that will be coaching points from Rodney Terry tomorrow.
And yes, but you know as well as I do, the time clock is ticking.
Yeah.
And that's the part. That's the part with this where guys don't always understand. They may think sometimes, oh, I got time. No, not really.
I.T. Horton, this is what he does. Friendly rattle.
I'm going to talk about what Max did on that. That probing dribble down there and coming across the lane, finding Horton into a walk-up three. That's because the ball was in his hands. I said this earlier about whose hands do you want the ball in?
Yeah.
You know, when it's in centers and some forwards' hands, it's not a good thing. But when you get your guard who's accustomed to having the ball, because he knows he can get points at any time.
I asked Coach Terry, who's the guy on the roster now that we may not be talking quite as much about, but that will be a difference maker by the season's end? And he says it's I.T. Horton. That's the guy.
And he's going to have his opportunity because he can stretch the floor, and with the ability of the penetrating guards that we have, he's going to be able to do that.
That one left short by Elkington, who's slowed down, understandably slow as Texas has cranked up the pressure and intensity here in the second half. Off the dribble, no. Too much dribbling there?
Again, yes.
Yeah.
Just step into it and shoot it. That's going to be the best bet for you. But again, this is where he'll be able to take all those pull-up threes where he should have just shot the ball. Good things will happen when he does that. But again, everything is a teaching moment, especially right now.
There's a progression from I.T. Horton. Started off at Delaware before a couple of seasons at Pitt. High off the glass. Blake Nielsen is back. He's got 10 points. And this game is still in the balance. Hilltoppers are a couple of threes and stops from tying this up. They got to slow down Asmus, and that's proven difficult to do.
It is, and this is okay. This is what this time is for. This is where your players start to show up as far as what they can do and how they can do it. Again, this is the second game that they've had, and in the first game, he was fantastic.
Aaron Mitchell cleared for takeoff. He's got 6 points or off dunks.
Did you notice what hand he dunked with there? He dunked with his right hand there. He's left-handed. And like the ambidextrous individuals, oh, they can be special, especially when it comes to making posters, getting after it.
With the D. And the foul on Ramos in transition. So Max is coming alive here.
He is coming alive. You know, as you see, you know, these types of plays, we talked about Mitchell, you know, feeling a little under the weather, but you can't rest on that. You still got to show up. Look at guys getting on the floor, kick ahead. This is what we were missing in the first half because, as Mike Tyson says, everybody has a game plan until they get punched in the mouth.
Absolutely.
We got punched in the mouth in the first half. And what happened in the second half? Cut me, Mickey. Cut me.
Pick yourself back up the mat, throw some haymakers. You know, Asmus, in a way, reminds me a little bit of Serge Jabari Rice from last season in that there are a lot of things that those players are not. But at the end of the day, what they are dudes that win and can get you buckets. And it seems like he's going to be a guy when Texas needs a score. Like Serge Jabari was down the stretch, he's going to deliver.
You know, and his pace and understanding where to be and who to get the ball to. That's what you need in a guard, in a point guard at that, especially with his skill set to defend. Or, oh, come on, Mitchell, get your hands up. And this is something that he'll be able to build on when coaches are looking, because I'm going to end up texting coach tonight and be like, hey, tell him, get his hands up.
So you like the footwork?
I love the foot. He was in front.
Yeah.
But now, the kid was able to make a pass cross court. If I have my hands out, that's another steal and maybe a dunk.
He's got the wingspan to do that. But St. Ed's refuses to go away. They are stating their case. They're going to be one of the top D2s in the Lone Star Conference. Jeff, Carey, they were on Rick Barnes' staff together when they put together the best recruiting class in America. Former head coach at Mizzou and Miami. The guy's as good as it gets. And you look back there, over the shoulder of Rodney Terry, it's Coach Jonathan Holmes. So we've come full circle from calling Jay Holmes making amazing plays on the court for Texas to now calling him Coach Holmes.
And he's still quiet. I was talking to him the other day last week, and like, man, you haven't changed so much. And he said, well, yeah, okay, all right.
There's nothing like watching him in those chase down blocks, a la LeBron James. I mean, he would put on a master clinic with those moments, and no one played harder here at the University of Texas. But again, that's how they build them in San Antonio, Bruce. Good move by Dylan Mitchell inside over Gary.
Yeah. You know, it's the things, the glimpses that I see of Dylan right now. It's the little things, figuring out the little things of having hands up at all times, not just when you go to block a shot.
Oh no!
But at all times, because it makes it even more difficult for that opponent. Nice.
Little no-look inside. Oyema with the finish from Horton.
And again, that's where he's going to get those opportunities to score, his rim runs.
Uh-oh! What do we got now, defense? We got a windmill. Do you feel the breeze?
He dunked that one with his left.
Goodness gracious. And listen to the corral here in Moody. Texas students have shown up again. Even though it's a cold, damp night here in Austin, they're here in their Halloween costumes.
Why would you want to be outside in this cold dampness? Come on in here.
I'm with you. I'm with you to see moments like this. Okay. Is that a 9? Is that a 10? What do you?
Hey, that's a 10, especially for people who can't do it.
Are you calling me out?
No, I was talking about me in my prime.
You could dunk. Come on, man.
Yeah, I could dunk. But did you see what he did? There was a degree of difficulty to that.
You couldn't shoot free throws, but you could dunk.
Well, that was sometimes.
This is what you can do, though.
Hey,
right there. That's a Bruce Bowen spot. Tyrese Hunter for 3.
But again, it becomes an easier game as you buy into what you do. And it also, that rotation got a lot shorter for Coach.
Okay, hey, some hands up there for Mitchell. Better. Horton lost control, but still gets the foul.
Now, I like the rim run, but now it's almost like either you slow up to give the big fella right here. It's give it up or keep going and finish. And that's what he understands right there. He's like, I let a golden opportunity go with my left hand.
So was it that slight hesitation that kind of threw things off?
The slight hesitation helped with allowing the big to get the rim run and protect and give him a lane.
Gotcha.
So it's just, again, working with one another. But I like what's going on. You know, Coach, he always, in the beginning of a season, coaches want to see what they have as far as rotations. And then after a while, you see what certain guys are doing. Then it's like, okay, I got to cut this down. I got to trim the fat, as they say. And, well, I tell you one thing that's transpired is that those two gentlemen, Max and Hunter, have really showed Coach, like, hey, we need the ball in our hands at all times.
They're going to make this team go.
Yep.
No doubt about it. And they will be one of the better duos in college basketball. Asmus comes into the season, preseason All Big 12 team. And Hunter is a guy that easily could end up on that team at the end of the year. Cunningham,
Don't
a little
swipe.
too much with the hands.
Yeah, don't swipe. If he doesn't swipe, then the referee's not going to call anything. Referees are conditioned to call on certain movements. If you go in like this, now they can't call that foul. That's why I was so good. I always had my hands up.
Yes, you did.
Give me your money. I got my hands up. Can't get to my wallet.
And it worked. Can't argue anything coming from your mouth when it comes to playing elite defense as Nielsen misses a free throw. I'm curious here with the game now looking like it's in the bag for Texas, how long Rodney Terry plays his guys, the rotational guys. I like this because you can tell RT is valuing every minute that these guys can get together on the court before the season starts.
You get tired of practice against one another. Guys who know your plays. And, you know, the most amazing thing is that St. Edwards only has 13 points. Wow. So the defense got turned up because of what happened in the first half.
Texas on a 20-3 run and 22 now for Tyrese.
It's the things of this game where we get so frustrated with how we come out at certain times.
Do you see the manners too, though? He picked up the cheerleaders' signs after taking them out. I mean, it's a well-rounded young man right there.
If I went to Texas, I would as well.
There we go.
Because, you know, who knows? I might be working here one day, and they remember that moment where I helped put the S back in Texas.
Like, literally. I love it. I love it. Mitchell. One-on-one. What will he do this time? Oh, we're just going to go with the little finger roll. Still like it, still works, still effective.
But out there, his hands were out.
Yeah. He's figuring out his game, get more acclimated with it as we've gone along in this game. That's who he is right now. A guy that can be an elite defender, rim protector, and then dominate offensively close to the bucket.
You know, I talk about your hands and his wingspan. You know, when his hands are out or a change of pace there. Remember in the first half, he was just going with his left hand hard, but now he changes the pace right here and gets to his left hand. And look at how much more easier that is as compared to when he was trying to pound the ball in the dribbling.
It's a really good response. I mean, St. Ed's, first off, you got to give them props.
Absolutely.
They were awesome in the first half, and it was a sight to see. But probably ultimately good that Texas did get punched in the mouth.
Now, it happens in the game of basketball, but this is where, you know, St. Ed's, I said the biggest difference between D2 schools and Division I schools are the athletic players. They run their stuff to a T. And right now, they ran out of gas. So you're dealing with that physicality of what Texas brings. This is only going to help them in their future because Coach will be able to say, hey, fellas, we can do this. Look at what we did against Texas.
I'll tell you this, so when it comes to Andre Cook and what he's built, if you're out there in the Lone Star Conference watching this matchup, you're probably saying, I don't want the Hilltoppers this year. That's going to be a battle. St. Ed's really has showed us a lot here tonight in this exhibition. 420
always leads to that, but at the same time, it also sends a message to the opponent. Yeah, you make another weak pass, I'm going to go get another dunk.
How important is the pose after the dunk, or the mean mug?
You got to remember, I'm a 70s kid, so my coaches didn't allow that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you guys would throw down a dunk and then just get into a fist fight.
No,
that was it. Onyema.
Yeah, but that was, you know, the thing is, you turn back and get back on defense because at that time, some of those guys knew they was going to come back and get you.
It's a different game.
It is all about what they call it, the gram. Yeah, that's
like Instagram?
Right? Yeah. Oh, yeah, really, like you're trying to act like, the Instagram, Bruce? Yeah, you know what it is.
Bruce, I haven't heard it's all about the gram in a few years at least.
What? No?
No.
Is it lit or is it flick? Huh? On fleek?
Hey, stop while you're... Hey, save these lines. This is just the exhibition.
Hey, no, I'm trying to get better.
Or get them all out so they don't come back.
You know,
one of the two.
My kids was here. I'd be dancing and embarrassing them.
Yeah, absolutely. You have reached that age, as have I.
Whoa. I can make fun of my own age, but
No,
like
no.
you're doing it.
I'm lumping us together as fathers that we are no longer cool.
I like how you did that. As fathers. How old are you?
I am 43 years old.
Oh my God. 43 years young. Yes.
You're acting like you're.
Well, I have more miles in my car than you.
Oh, you definitely do that. And more zeros in the bank account. There's Onyema.
That no. See, I don't like. He got to sprint back without worrying about the miss. Because again, he's auditioning right now. You know, he's on Broadway.
Inside move and the finish by Sean Elkington. He's had a slow second half, but overall he's going to remember this night because Elkington has been a difference. 13 points for the Hilltoppers.
I think you got to give credit to all of these players that have been out here competing. Because at the end of the day, that's all you want to be able to do is compete with your peers or against teams that you've seen. They know what Texas did last year in the NCAA tournament.
All the way to the Elite Eight.
This is what's beautiful for them.
Onyema. Yes! Got the dunk. And I think he is fired up to have his moment here inside Moody for the first time in his Texas career. It's just an exhibition, but don't tell it to the guys competing. Here that is. Mitchell could not finish. Onyema does. Yeah, the feed for Ramos set up by Nielsen out of the timeout. Good look there drawn up by Andre Cook.
Nice execution. Now you got young guys in the game, but I love the fact that Rodney left Max in there just to run things, keep a little order there.
And Weaver still wants the rock. Weaver still trying to get his first bucket as a Longhorn 0 for 2. That one is nearly thrown away from Devon Pryor. Pryor with the drive and got it. Devon Pryor with his first bucket inside Moody.
You know, Coach Terry is really high on him, but like right here, you just don't want him thinking too much. He's driving. If the lane opens up, that's what he's supposed to do. But it's so good to see him have that moment. Like, that kind of stuff makes you feel so good as a freshman, as someone that competes in practice or maybe don't get as many reps as someone. You're having a chance to have an impact now.
And it's got to start somewhere, right? There's always that guy that you're not expecting to do quite as much. Gets that moment, shows some hustle plays, and then it's 2 minutes in a meaningful game, right? And then it's 5, 10, etc.
And the biggest thing with guys coming straight from high school now is that now, yes, you have some of the 5-star guys, but for those that are not 5-star, it's learning the physicality of Division I basketball, because it's no longer, hey, show up to practice and hey, we have a good time. Now it's a purpose with everything. Film session, weights, training.
Down to the final 90 seconds. Nielsen, the deep three, great touch there.
I mean, I'm looking up at the fans, the St. Ed fans. You gotta get, yes, I mean, it's a minute left in the game. Their team is down, but they're still cheering as if it's a 5-point game.
And a back way to Weaver. Tipped out of bounds. And here's the deal. I know those fans, when they're not cheering for St. Ed's, and it's not a conflict of interest, a lot of them are wearing burnt orange as well. And so that's really what Andre Cook was trying to get out of this game. Give all these fans here in Austin something to do when Texas is on the road. Drive down South Congress Avenue as you get Pryor with the finish, and check out some D2 basketball that's played at a very high level as the Hilltoppers do.
Yeah, you can't help but to appreciate everything that's transpiring right now. Nice pass.
Cole by no.
Now Cole got to be ready to shoot when he get in the game.
He usually doesn't shy away. Him and Perryman, if they get their chance, they're going to throw it up.
And my only issue is that being ready is not necessarily, I was ready to shoot. It's being down in position, not when you get to catch the ball, then becoming ready. It's supposed to happen way before then.
So Texas will wrap up a win in this exhibition. Bot to Perryman on a Meckway. Right-hand finish. to make it 84 for the Longhorns. But after this, it gets real. Season opener coming up in a week against Incarnate Word. We'll have that matchup on Longhorn Network as this is heaved up. And that will take us to zeros. Rodney Terry guiding his program to his former program, and that's a lot of love and a lot of respect.
चल के बाद बंदे के
भोला समिति से भमिया तोहार सिर्फ संडे के बुझो जी अब करे हमारे इंतजार पिसन संडे के सुन
घूमी पर्वत